What is up, everybody? We are sitting here with a little bit of a Tempest Remastered draft. It is just me this week because Oisin is away, I'm afraid. We opened a Mythic. It's worth a couple of tickets. We've opened Time Warp. And I think it's going to be what I would take here. Time Warp isn't amazing. If any of you have played Cube and you've played with Time Walk often just ends up being Explore. Now, if you're ahead, you can really press the advantage with a card like this. But considering it's worth a couple of tickets and it's actually something that I want for an EDH I'm building, I think I might take it. Other considerations would be things like Carnophage, if you want to build that kind of deck. Shackles is okay. It's not as amazing as it looks on first sight, but it's pretty okay. I should clarify, I never played Tempest the first time it came out, so this is my first experience with it. I've done exactly one Tempest Remastered draft. This is my second. Craven Giant's not bad either. Goblin Bombardment's a card. Mnemonic Sliver's not bad at all. And then Dark Banishing is pretty solid as well, obviously. That would probably be the pick, if not for the Time Warp. But Time Warp's more fun, so I'm going to stick with it. Foil Grindstone. Something tells me that's worth something. I'm going to look that up. The value in this set has dropped pretty sharply since it came out, but I feel like Foil Grindstone's still worth a little bit. Yeah, it's worth 9.6 tickets. Foil Grindstone, it would seem. That's probably worth just picking up, to be honest. Yeah, it's the second most expensive foil card in the set. I wish it opened the first most expensive one, which is Wasteland, which is a nice 50 ticks. But 9 ticks is still enough for me to take. This is according to MTG Goldfish, by the way, so hopefully it's correct. Maybe we'll try to do this. Maybe we'll try to build like the super slow, super defensive grindstone deck and see how that goes. It doesn't really gel too well with Time Warp. Time Warp, you kind of want to get ahead and then use it to really wreck them. Corpse Dance. Oh yeah, Corpse Dance is an interesting card actually. You can Corpse Dance Eldrazi. That's one of the only ways to reanimate Eldrazi. I know that much, but it's not amazing by any stretch. Scrivener. You can go off with Scrivener and Time Warp. It's a nice little combo. Vampire Hounds. It's not bad at all. Youthful Knight is pretty good though. Maybe I just take the Youthful Knight here as a 2/1 first strike. Is that better than the Soltari Monk? In a defensive deck, I think it probably is. It's a solid blocker. Stalking Stones. Oh yeah. It's not a bad card at all. Windrake, never bad. Never that bad a card. Master Decoy, though, is a hell of a tapper. And I think it's what I want here. If I want to build the more fun defensive grindstone deck, I should take this. I want to just put the better card. This is probably still better than Windrake, to be honest. It's probably fine. So Staunch Defenders, that is a hell of a card. Mage Ovek is a little low on the old power level. Anarchist is as well. Mnemonic Sliver again. Shadow Rift is okay. Soltari Lance is also pretty good, but Staunch Defenders is a great defensive card. It's close to bomb level, apparently, back in the old Tempest block. Well, it's been downgraded from uncommon to common here. And the 3/4 is just a pretty big body back in the days that this was a thing, and gaining 4 life is not nothing. Time Ebb. Wayward Soul's not bad either. Armor Pegasus is not something I'm really interested in. Aftershock is a nice removal spell. If we're just going to be buying time to grindstone our opponent out, maybe we want the Time Ebb. Wayward Soul's just a better card though. And you can block and return it to your hand. Plus you can just kill them if you want. Another Youthful Knight. Hammerhead Shark's a good defensive card too. 2 mana 2/3 is not bad at all. But a 2 mana 2/1 first strike is probably just as good a lot of the time. I'm really interested to see if we can pull off a win with the grindstone. I'd be really happy about that if we can make it happen. Top 2 cards if 2. Yeah. If both cards share color, repeat this process. So it's not going to be too often that you get to repeat the process, let's be honest. Pain Land in our colors, except it's the really one of the types really bad types of Pain Lands. Stalico is something I'm interested in. Chump blocker that draws me a card, but chump blocker only for shadow creatures. Meh. Probably just want another Youthful Knight. I might be overestimating how good a 2-mana 2/1 first strike is, but it seems pretty solid. It seems it has nice defensive speed. Master Decoy can... What we really want is a Shackles. Shackles with Master Decoy is real nice. Because Master Decoy you can turn a Shackles essentially into an Arrest. Or I suppose rather into a Claustrophobia. Which is a much better card. So we wouldn't mind picking up some Shackles now. Not sure what Time Warp's doing in this deck, really, but... Anthropters is fine. 4 mana 2/3 is not an amazing rate. But 3 mana 2/2 that I can pay 2 to sack to draw cards, not bad either though. Gonna take the Archers, I think. 1/4 Vigilance is a great blocker. Yeah, I can just build a blue-white control deck and have Grindstone or maybe this Wayward Soul beat down as our win con. Maybe pick up some more flyers, pick up some more shadow creatures. Ways to win the game. Now, this because we're a liable target for the old Disenchant if they want to bring it in against us, or that shadow right there. But it's just too sweet a victory condition to not run, and like if we can kill someone with a Grindstone, I'll be very happy. It's very difficult to get it to chain many times in a row, because between lands and the fact that most people are playing 2 colors, makes it very difficult to make it hit. Windrake is a nice pickup. Just a super efficient, solid card. Sorry, it's not super efficient, it's just rock solid. 4 mana 3/2 flyer, that's okay by today's standards. If it's okay by today's standards, it's great by old Tempest standards. Like, this card could be printed today and would be pretty okay, I think. For 2 blue, you'd probably expect a little better, but you know, 4 mana 3/2 flyer is pretty solid. Soltari Lancer, that's a pretty good card there. You know, 3 mana 2/2 shadow that has first strike when it's attacking. Nothing to be laughed at. So now we've got 3 sort of evasive creatures. Thopter Squadron, it's not bad at all. Soltari Champion's a hell of a card. Could transition out of this control deck if we wanted, and that wouldn't be crazy, I don't think. Yeah, you just get to shift them around. At the end of the day, it's just a 5 mana 3/2 flyer that you can make into 3/1/1 flyers, which is not amazing. Maze of Shadows is just Maze of Ith for I think I want the champion here. Maybe we can build like an evasive deck instead and just chuck out this Grindstone and go with that instead. Meditate's not really what I'm interested in. Pegasus Stampede is certainly a win con. Something I'm interested in over Spell Blast. Don't love Spell Blast. We can just chuck the Pegasus Stampede in as a way to win the long game. It's not terrible. Legit Pacifism though is much better. Even better than the Fighting Drake, I think. Legit Pacifism is a card I'm very much interested in. I'm very interested in this Mana Leak and this Merfolk Looter too, but I'm not passing Pacifism, I don't think. Crystalline Sliver is a 2 mana 2/2 that gives all slivers Shroud. That's definitely interesting. Sea Monsters is a 6 mana 6/6. Soltari Trooper. 2 mana essentially 2/2 shadow creature. It's not bad at all. And our 4th Youthful Knight's probably a little bit on the overkill side. We have no other sliver, so I'm going to take the Trooper here, I think. Sort of move into a flyersy, evasive shadow kind of thing. Time Warp's a lot better in that deck. And I think at this point we're going to have to lose the Grindstone. Honestly. Core Chant is a hell of a card. Core Chant is a hell of a card. I like that card a lot. the other two considerations would be Shackles and Merfolk Looter, but Core Chant is something I'm definitely interested in, I think. Core Chant just has the potential to have such high blowout. Has such high blowout potential. It essentially redirects. It prevents all the damage that would be dealt to a creature you control and deals it to a different creature instead. So there's high potential there for 2-for-1s. If, say, they attack with 2 3/3s and you have your own 3/3, you block one of their 3/3s, you Core Chant, those creatures that would have traded, now your guy eats their guy, and the damage from their guy gets dealt to the other guy. It's a nice card indeed. Warrior and Core lets you prevent, as you shift around the damage that will be dealt to it. It's not bad at all. I think I'd rather just have the Stalakos yet though. Dream Prowler is not a card I'm that interested in though. Soltari Lancer I think I like a little better. We just go on this whole shadow evasion theme. Curiosity goes very well with that. Happy to pick that up, I think. Twitch is not a bad card either. Nomads and Gore is interesting too. Horn Turtle is Horn Turtle, but I think I'd like the Curiosity a lot. With so many evasive things. So we're essentially building the blue-white Flyers deck here. We've got a solid ground game with our Youthful Knights, which are actually pretty good in multiples in terms of blocking. You know, if you have all three out, they'll eat a 6/6. Eat that sea monster we passed earlier. Our blue is kind of a little understated so far. It's definitely a very heavy white deck. Pardon me. But Time Warp is too fun to not play, I think. There's Whispers of the Muse. Do I just want the Whispers of the Muse? It's a hell of a card. I think that's probably a good card to chuck in for late game scenarios where you can just recur it over and over again to draw as many cards you want. If your board gets stalled out, or if everyone's top decking, it's a nice thing to have. Worst case scenario, you just pay blue to cycle it as well, so it's not that bad at all. Bandage. How do I feel about Bandage? Again, it does cycle itself. Replaces itself by drawing a card. I think I can take the Spell Blast for the board instead. I want to have this in case there's something I really can't beat. I can bring it in. Now here, do I want the Merfolk Looter or the Angelic Blessing? I think I want the Looter. Merfolk Looter is just such an insane card. I don't think I main deck the Time Map though. I'm definitely going to consider bringing it in. If I see, like, you know, a bunch of Auras or anything like that. Pegasus Stampede and Whispers of the Muse are nice late game cards. This reminds me a little bit of what's the Goblin card? The Hidden Paladin and Vec. That's a good card. It's a very good card. Is that something I'm interested in? Probably. It's pretty solid. It's great against black and red, obviously. Other than that, I'd be taking the Soltari Lancer. Or the Smite probably would be the pick instead. But I want the Smite over the Paladin and Vec. Does Paladin and Vec work anything? I don't think it is. No. It might just be the Smite here. It's just such a good removal spell that I might just rather have that. 2-mana 2/2 first strike pro black pro red though. It's a hell of a threat. With 15 creatures and being a little bit low in removal, I think I'm going to take the Smite instead. Could be madness though. Here, don't think I want this Conviction. Don't think I'm interested in this Gallantry either. Don't want the Sift, the Time Ebb, the Troopers, the Shark, the Scrivener. I think I probably want the Sift here. Not super excited about it, but it's fine. As a sorcerer, it's a little awkward. With that in mind, actually, probably don't want these standing troops. Sorry, not the lancer. The troops, I do want that lancer. But you probably don't want the troops in this deck now. They ditched the rhinestone strategy. Another gallantry here. No, this is a very similar pack, in fact. Guess I'll take the gallantry here. Or I'll take the shark, and if it's probably okay against people who are playing islands. Yeah, it's probably just fine there. Shadow, shadow, shadow. Great with other shadow as well. That hits pretty hard. Great with all the flyers. Yeah, if we can set up a nice evasive board, hit our opponent, time warp them, kill them. Pretty excited about that. Got some nice removal. Core chance of good blood potential, like I said. I thought I picked up the shackles, but I guess not. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 evasive creatures. About to become 8 evasive creatures, I think. Do I want that more than the trooper? Probably. Although they do both attack for the same amount. I probably just want the trooper instead. By taking this many shadow creatures, also cutting them from our opponents. There's a lancer, which I think is going to be better than the sea monster. Although 6 mana 6/6 is huge. But if we have shadow, I don't think we care. What are we going to cut here? Maybe one of these youthful knights. Rift Occluder isn't perfect for this deck, but it's just such a useful card to have that I have a hard time cutting it, I think. Yeah, I think we just want as much shadow and stuff as possible. Hope that we can hold them off. Dream Predator Management. There's the shackles there. I think it's what I want here. If we're going to end up racing them, which is likely to happen with all of our shadow creatures, the shackles is something I'm definitely interested in. I think I'm interested in more than the Whispers of the Muse, I think. Oh, pardon me. Second Pegasus Stampede. I think I'd rather take a disenchant for the border. I don't really want more than one of these in my deck, I don't think. I've never actually played with this card, but so I find it tough to evaluate. But I think I'll have a hard time making more than, 6 Pegasi with it. If we have 6 lands, it's good to bring in against opponents playing islands. And a 6 mana 6/6 defender isn't the worst thing in the world. Not amazing, obviously, but it's a nice stabilizing play. But we don't want those mounted archers. In fact, I'm certain we don't. What time might be better than that youthful knight? No, I want a nice high creature density. Is time map better than Sift? Probably not. As a sorcery though, maybe Sift is not something we're really interested in. Like, what are we drawing with it? I don't think what are we hoping to draw with our Sift? Our pacifism and our smite, I guess. These kinds of cards are the kind of things we're hoping to hit with the Sift. But it's not like we have any bombs or, aside from our pacifism and our I suppose pacifism, shackles, and smite are the cards that will make me want the Sift. But the rest of our deck makes me want the time map, just to keep our opponent off balance a little bit and allow us to punch through enough damage to kill them. Staunch Defenders is nice there because it's a nice stabilizing blocker that gains us 4 life. I think this deck is going to be racing a lot of the time by the looks of it. I want another Thalicos Scout. Yeah, I think I do. I want it in the main deck. Is that Thalicos Scout better than one of these useful knights? Maybe not. Probably not. I think I like having a nice high number of 2-drops, so I think I'm going to keep it as it is. Pretty happy with that draft overall, I think. Got a nice little cohesive strategy, plus we've got more than our entry in rares, which is nice. So, and there's at least 10-7 in favour of planes, maybe an 11-6. Our double blues are so high up that, and our normal blue is so low that I think 11-6 might actually be more correct. Although we never need double white, except for the staunch defenders way up there. So I think I can get away with 10-7. Either way, I think our mana will be fine. But I think I can get away with 10-7 here, just so I always have that island. I think that's what I'm going to run. And hopefully we can get there in this 6-2-2-2.